Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast quickie. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
On episode 120, we're going to look back at the win over the Edmonton Oilers. We're going to talk Big Nick on waivers, and we're also just going to shoot the shit. This is one of our new quickie episodes. Just sliding one in before the weekend. You know what I mean?
That's right, baby. Thursday night, just a quickie on a Thursday.
That's what you got to do. Tomorrow's Friday, then it's the weekend. Just slip a quickie in, you're good to go.
Good to go.
So last night, the Leafs beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2. Kind of, I don't know. I thought it was kind of a weird game. There were parts I was like, oh, this looks good. And then there were parts I was falling asleep. And the no fans, I can't.
Completely
I can't do it.
No, I know, man. Completely killing it. Like, I'm just deja vu here. Like, I'm like, this is, what is it? Fucking January 2020, 2021,
yeah,
2022. Where the fuck are we here? I'm like Canadian division all over again last night.
Yeah, but see, before it was everywhere. Everybody was doing it. But the Leafs play on Saturday, which was, I guess, New Year's Day, and you turn the channel and you watch the Winter Classic. There's 50,000 people and there's all this stuff, and then you turn to the Leaf game, and it's just nothing. Just Carlton the Bear sitting all by himself.
I know, Carlton, eh? Like, what the fuck? Like, what's the point of even, like, what is the point of that? There's legitimately nobody there. What is Carlton? Like, what's the point?
I don't know. Give him a night off.
Just for the TV audience, I guess? Like, because there's legit nobody there. So what's he doing there?
I get he lives there, I guess.
I guess he lives there, yeah. Yeah, man. Anyway, so just before we go into the game, like, they postponed another Leafs game. What game was it? They announced it during the broadcast last night. The New Jersey. Okay, so they're going on the road here this weekend. Colorado Saturday, Vegas Tuesday, Arizona Wednesday, St. Louis the following Saturday. The New Jersey Devils were supposed to be in Toronto on the 17th of October. That game has been postponed because Jerry Bettman and the league is standing firm. Like, okay, Ontario, Canada, get your fucking shit together. We're not sending up American teams. Like, they're like, okay, Edmonton, Toronto, Ottawa, Toronto, fine. Canadian teams, you want to play the games. And the Leafs the Leafs could have postponed those games, you're aware of, right?
Yeah, but they don't want to cram too many in.
The NHL asked them, like, do you want to postpone them or do you want to play? They said, we'll play those two games anyway. But looks like Bettman and Daly aren't budging on this one, man. Like, so that Devils game has been rescheduled. So after those 4 games on the road, Colorado, Vegas, Arizona, St. Louis. So that New Jersey was supposed to be in on Monday, the 17th of January. That's out. So then they go to New York and they play the Rangers. The Islanders game the next Saturday, that takes us to the 22nd of January. That game was supposed to be in Toronto. It's now been moved to Long Island. So that game's going to be played. So their next home game is supposed to be Anaheim on the 26th. You think anything's going to be different in Ontario come the 26th of January? I fucking don't think so.
Well, you never know.
Oh,
you
come on, dude. What? Come on, man. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I don't.
Shit show.
I don't think it's going to be different, but you never know. Maybe they do something to allow a certain number of fans, and I don't know. I'm just going to play it day by day,
dude. Do you not think? Here's my prediction right now. And then after that Anaheim game will be postponed because after that Anaheim game they play Detroit in Detroit on the 29th, and then New Jersey on the 1st of February.
And then then is the break where they're hoping to make up a bunch of the games.
Yeah, they've got to redo the schedule and all that shit. But the Leafs will not play another home game until minimum February 2nd at the earliest. But I'm predicting, like, you're looking at fans in the stands, I would say probably March 1st, earliest in Ontario. Maybe Edmonton will go ahead or whatever, but in Ontario, no, dude. They're like, we're literally back to like lockdown stage here, pretty much.
Yeah, almost. Well, yeah.
Restaurants closed, gyms. You like, what is open? You can go to the store and get your groceries. That's about fucking it.
Yeah, all the fun stuff is closed.
There's nothing to do.
That's basically all the fun stuff's closed, but everything else is. The malls are still open, but they're just 50% capacity.
Right.
Anything shopping, anything retail is open. It's just gyms are closed, recreational centers are closed, bars are closed, restaurants are closed. Now they can do takeout and things like that. But to actually go,
dude,
to actually go, it's closed. It's all the stuff that we get enjoyment out of is closed.
I don't like, and we'll get to the game here in a second, but I just saw a thing before we started recording this that like in Ontario, they're allowing like they're allowing rent increases for the year 2022. Did you see this today? Like the maximum allowance of rent increases. I'm reading this. I'm like, you have to be fucking kidding me. Like the amount of people out of work with all these fucking shutdowns, people can barely fucking afford to get by right now. And they're going to raise rent prices on people.
If you work in the food industry, like say you're a waiter or a cook or something like that, right now you're not working. And the government, I think, is giving you $300 a week. And then they're going to up your rent on top of that.
People can't afford their fucking rent anyway in like most places, especially the GTA. Like it's expensive anywhere you go right now, fucking anywhere, but especially fucking Toronto. I just was like, I couldn't believe it. Like they're allowing landlords to raise the rent to the maximum allowance in 2022. I'm like, what the fuck? You have to be joking me. Anyway, good job, Ontario government. You really got it figured out, boys.
You got her going strong, bud.
But anyway, so are you in agreement with that as far as like, they're not playing any home games for a long time?
No, like I have the schedule up in front of me too. And now you're right. Now that I'm looking at it, they've postponed the games. Next one's not until Anaheim. You postpone that one game and basically until near the end of February, you don't have anything, but they do want to rejig the schedule and use those 3 weeks between February 1st and February 24th.
They have to
make up some of the games that they lost. The problem is that I don't know if they still don't have fans in the stands. Are you going to just postpone them and then do them later? Like, why not just do them now?
I don't know. I would say that they would probably schedule if Ontario and the other provinces in Canada are still allowing no capacity or wherever it's at, I would say maybe they go with the games of the Canadian teams. They throw that in there first and try to just buy even more time, because I know like the Leafs are like at Vancouver. I think they're up to 9. If they postpone that Anaheim game, I think it'll be 10 games that they'll have to make up. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's
But you got a game against Montreal that was postponed, Calgary, Vancouver. Like there are some Canadian teams in there. So I don't know, man. But I just think I hated watching that fucking game last night. It was a goddamn slop fest fucking from start to finish. The sloppiest game I've seen probably all fucking season. It was sloppy. But the no fans thing is just like, it's just,
yeah. I mean, it was when they came back to the bubble in 2020, we were like, oh, we were just so glad to have hockey back.
Excited to be back. But now,
and then last year we kind of understood, right? They're like, okay, we're going to play a full season, but we have to do no fans in the stands because of COVID. And we were like, okay, all right. And then near the end of the season, in the playoffs, Montreal allowed like 2,000 people in and Toronto allowed 500. And you're like, all right, next year. Then they start this year, the building's packed. And I thought it was the best. Like the fans have been so great this year. The building's been so loud. And then just
the soup chants, everything been fucking awesome.
3 weeks ago, literally 3 weeks ago, building was completely full. And then last night, empty.
I know.
Saturday night, empty. It's just crazy how quickly things have, gone down. And I think Keefe said it after the game, right? He said it's pretty hard to get the guys riled up and have it not feel like a game of shinny without the fans. Like it's very hard to get them into it without the fans. And I would totally understand that. Like scoring a goal in a giant empty building would just feel weird.
Well, dude, like they had 30 games with full attendance. And basically, I think they started with half capacity, but pretty quickly it went to full capacity. So for most of the year, they've played full capacity. So if I'm on the team, I again would be like, what the fuck? And like I would, you go home at night, you throw on TSN or Sportsnet, you watch the other games and they're fucking full crowds. And you just would have to be like, what are we doing?
Maybe it's not a bad thing they're going on the road.
Oh, like it's great. It's great.
No, but I mean, for them,
yeah, it's great.
Like it'll feel good to play in front of fans.
Of course, man. Fuck it. So they only were, luckily they only ended up playing 2 games with no fans. Hopefully that's the fucking end of it. If I'm the NHL, even if I'm the Leafs, I'm just like, I would probably be like, I don't know. They're going on a month-long roadie here. Like they're not, dude, they're probably already gone I would imagine because of the altitude in Colorado and stuff, you would probably go out a day. They probably would have gone today, I think.
Yeah, they probably, yeah. They would be there. They would be there now. Have Friday to get your lungs back in order.
So, dude, they're not coming home. Like, it'd be like, dude, pack some extra socks and underwear here, boys, because we're not coming home until fucking February. So, like, seriously.
I know. I'm looking at the schedule. It's crazy. The craziest thing is that I know they've postponed a lot of games due to COVID, but it feels like the Leafs have had so many postponed, but really they're right up there with games played in the league.
Yeah, they had played a bunch more games than teams like Boston and Florida and Tampa. Now they've all caught up. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Boston still only played 29. The Leafs have played 32. So
right.
But yeah, Tampa's passed them. Tampa's played 35 games. So on the plus side, you know, they're 3 points behind Tampa for first in the division, but they have 3 games in hand.
Yep, for sure.
So they actually have a better winning percentage than the Tampa Bay Lightning right now, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
They're third overall in the league, winning percentage wise.
Yeah.
Win percentage wise. But man, I don't know.
Well, anyway, let's get into the game. But before we get into the game, we should talk about Nomicron. Auston Matthews caught a little Nomicron.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He had it, but he didn't have it.
False positive, right? Wonder how many of those are out there.
Well, apparently, if you've had COVID in the past, which he has, there's a way higher chance that a rapid test might come back false positive. A PCR test is more, it'll tell you really what's up, but he's had it before, so he's in that category where there's a high chance of a false positive. But then, did McDavid get it too?
Well, so here's the thing:
we thought Matthews was going to be out. He's good to go.
The struggling Oilers were coming in, and they are brutal. I think I underestimated the I thought they were like 2-10 in their last whatever. I think it's worse than that. They are fucking brutal, and their record is horrendous. And they, it looked like Matthews missed 2 days of practice, false positive on a rapid test, the PR or whatever the fucking other tests are called, PCR, whatever.
PCR test, yep.
Those apparently negative. So we thought it was going to be Matthews out, and then all of a sudden, no, Matthews is okay, but McDavid's got the COVID. So
we can't see the McDavid versus Matthews.
That's right. And I'm kind of glad McDavid didn't play last night because that might have been the difference maker. It was sloppy. Edmonton, I actually didn't think Edmonton played that bad last night.
No, they didn't.
The fucking goal. Do you want to just briefly talk about like
how bad Edmonton's goalies are?
Well, and the coach's comments and like throwing them under the bus, and then the goalie comes back with like the comments like it'd be nice if I could get a couple goals.
Yeah, he's like, I don't score goals, and they've only scored 7 goals in my past 6 games.
Dave Tippett walked at first. He was like, you got to make a save, and our goaltending's not good enough. And then the next day, he like walked it back, and he was like, well, I was talking about the first goal. Well, that's not really what he said. He said our goaltending isn't good enough.
Yeah, because he's trying to save his job too.
Well, dude, it's fire's burning hot out there. It's burning hot in Alberta. Man.
They had such a hot start, Edmonton, that they're 18-14-2, but they're 2-6-2 in their last 10. They've lost 5 in a row, but their goal differential is still +2, which seems ridiculous, but they must have scored so many goals at the beginning of the year that they still have a plus in goals scored versus goals given up, because, oh my God.
Yeah, that does seem kind of weird.
But at the start, remember how hot
that's
Draisaitl and McDavid were? And even Hyman, everyone's like, oh my God, Hyman's tearing it up in Edmonton, but then everything kind of came back down to earth. And I still think they're a good team, but God, they have bad goaltending and kind of just bad core defense too.
I think Draisaitl was a maniac last night. He was all noticeable every fucking shift on the ice. Other than him, no, there's not a lot of depth there. I like Darnell Nurse.
Their depth scoring is.
Well, no, I mean, dude, like, I didn't think Hyman had a great game. I don't know. It's just, I just don't see it, man. I don't see it with Edmonton. The whole goalie thing is like, clearly it's been obvious for a long time. You can't win a Stanley Cup with those 2 fucking goalies, Mike Smith. And what's the other guy's name?
Koskinen.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's not happening. Peter Chiarelli got fired the same week that he gave Koskinen his contract. Eh? Did you know that? Like he was like. He gave Koskinen a con.
I know he had the shortest sample size. He played like 20 games and had a good run, and they gave him this huge contract. Now,
Chiarelli got fired like 2 days after he gave
you could say on the flip side that the Leafs kind of did the same thing with Jack Campbell. He didn't have a huge they let Freddie Anderson walk and made Jack Campbell their number one.
They haven't given him a contract.
Exactly, that's the difference. The difference is he was still on backup goalie money.
Might want to get on that doobie because the price tag's going up every fucking game.
Yeah, so we'll see. But anyway, we can talk about the game. It was what it was. Like you say, it was sloppy. Draisaitl looked awesome. The Leafs pulled out a win.
Yeah, man. So look, these goals, like fucking Dave Tippett must have just been losing it when that first goal went in. Like 5 minutes into the game, I don't even know who shot it. I think it was, the assists they credited it to Nylander originally, and then they ended up giving it to Tavares later in the game. So
they gave it to Tavares, then they gave it to Nylander, then they gave it back to Tavares.
Right. So Kerfoot and Nylander ended up getting the assist. So it was just a weird shot. Oh yeah, Nylander shot it. It kind of hit it hit a couple people. I think it hit the end boards, came back, like hit the goalie and went in. Just every goal was brutal.
I know. And the second goal, like off the defenseman's leg, off Marner's knee, off Marner's skate, off the defenseman's skate.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So anyway,
it was one of those that when Edmonton's in that kind of funk right now, man. Like nothing's going their way.
No, for sure. So here's the best part about this game. So, Edmonton went up 2-1 after that weird first Toronto goal. And then like last minute of the first period, fucking Brody again. He just shoots it on net. He wasn't even trying to score. He just kind of fucking lobbed it through there and it finds a way through. Another brutal fucking goal. And like TJ Brody, 3-game fucking goal streak. What is going on?
Yeah, he's playing great right now. Maybe he just needed a little break, little mid-season, vacay, get the body feeling good.
He looks great, man. So it was 2-2 for the longest time. No scoring in the second. So go to the third. And they get a power play, and the first unit, again, not getting it done. And let me just throw this little bit in here. When Mitch was out, you realize the power play was just cooking, eh? Like that, when they had Cache replacing Mitch on that top unit, I think they scored like 7 straight times on the power play when Mitch wasn't there. Mitch comes back. Okay, mind you, the COVID break, whatever. Mitch comes back, and it's just like, no, they can't buy one. But for the second straight game, the second power play unit gets out there. And who do we have? Again, 2-game fucking goal streak. Ilya Mikheyev.
Did you hear what they're calling him now?
Hang on.
Because Jack Campbell's soup. So he was soup, but now Jack Campbell's
What's
soup.
my hand look like right now?
Looks like a snake. He's a cobra.
Or a cobra.
Cobra, yeah.
I love that. Now that's got to be code for what's cobra. Like that's got to be code.
Well, apparently it's because when he had his wrist surgery, his arm was in a cast and his fingers were touching each other like a cobra. Yeah, and he couldn't open them, so they just kept calling him Cobra.
I don't think so. I don't buy that for a second.
The other rumor is that one day Eddie Belfour was around and he came out of the shower and leather jacket in his hand, and he just said, "Boys, take my word for it. Call this guy Cobra. Just take my word for it." And then he left. Then he walked out.
That sounds a little more the direction I thought.
So I don't know why he would say that, but
yeah, between the legs for Mikheyev, he's got the Cobra, and I love it. Yeah. And dude, so he pops it unassisted on the
rattlesnake.
3 goals in 2 games for Ilya Mikheyev, and again, he was flying out there. We should say
he's tripled Nick Ritchie.
Oh fuck, Cache missed the game, so the lines were kind of whatever. Ritchie drawed back in. We'll get to Nick in a sec. Actually, fuck, let's just go here right now. On the first fucking Edmonton goal.
Oh.
Okay.
As soon as this happened, all I could picture was you screaming at your TV.
Look, I wasn't surprised. They got caught out of position, but then I think Brody was the only. I don't know who the defenseman was that was back, and maybe it was Sandy, and I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, it kind of was shaping up to like a 2-on-1, and like you could clearly see like it was Ritchie's guy, Perlini or whatever, and like Ritchie kind of just like he didn't even really attempt to like catch up with them. He just kind of like
he floated. He floated.
You could see the play taking shape. You knew it was going to be a 2-on-1. Perlini was driving to the net. Like you could see that Ritchie like had at the last second, it looked like he kind of made an attempt to get him, but I don't know. He dogged it on that play, Ritchie, man. I thought it was terrible. Like honestly,
he did dog it on that play. He did. If you were on Twitter at that time, like everyone's just like, what the hell? What is up with this guy?
He draws back in, like he's on the verge of not even being on the team anymore. And he's doing like, this is the effort. Come on, man. Maybe no surprise that he's fucking on waivers the next afternoon, like less than 24 hours later. We'll get to that in a second. But anyway, Mikheyev scores. Kerfoot gets an empty netter. The Leafs beat the Edmonton Oilers, the struggling Edmonton Oilers 4-2 to improve to 22-8-2.
Nice.
And they're just fucking killing it, man. And you know what? I saw this stat that they're 24-1 in their last 25 games, outscored their opponents 95-54. That is their most wins in franchise history in a 25-game stretch in a single season.
They're 24-1
in their last 25 games. And they've only played 32 games. So that shit start.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 100% positive. Think about when they lose. They don't lose, really.
No, they don't. You're right. They don't, but I feel like in the last 25 games they've lost more than once. But yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, think about the shit start. How many games? Like they only have 10 total losses. Like 8 in regular, like 8 in 2 overtime losses or a shootout, whatever.
Yeah,
and 8 regulation losses. So a lot of those came in the early part when they were.
Yeah, they won. They beat Montreal in the home opener. Then they lost to the Senators. Then they beat the Senators. Then they lost to the Rangers. They lost to the Sharks. They got killed by the Pittsburgh Penguins 7-1.
So there's a bunch adding
then
up.
Then they lost 4-1 to the Hurricanes. Then they beat the Blackhawks in that miraculous overtime game. Beat the Red Wings. Beat the Golden Knights.
That's when things changed. That Blackhawks
beat the Bruins. Lost to the Kings 5-1. And then since then, yeah, they beat the Flyers, beat the Flames, beat the Sabres, beat the Preds, beat the Rangers, lost to the Penguins. So maybe you're right. I'm just looking. They have won a lot. They lost to Minnesota on December 4th.
Yeah, but they're saying the stat was in their last 25 games, they're 24-1. So
right. Okay. I just like they lost to the Penguins on November 20th and the Wild on December 4th. That would probably be in the same 25 games.
Yeah.
That's 2 losses.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
I thought you meant 24-1. 24-1.
Yeah.
Shit.
No, not 1 loss. Like 5 total losses. Like 20 wins, 4 regulation losses, and 1 overtime loss. That's what I'm saying in their past 25 games. Not 24-1. Sorry. No. That would be fucking wild, though.
No, but looking at it, that's absolutely right. And it's just crazy. You don't even realize until you kind of look back. Like you look at the record and you're like, oh, but then when you look back, like it's like every game.
I know.
Win.
Well, dude,
win. And not just small wins too. 6-2, 4-1, 5-1, 8-3, 5-3, 6-3, 5-4, 5-3. Like they are scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah. Well, dude, like I said, they've only played 32 games and they're 24-1 in their last 25 games. That's
incredible.
That's crazy. So that's the best stretch of hockey in a 25 game period, period in the franchise history. So
are we still, it doesn't matter?
No, doesn't matter.
Until the playoffs?
Does not matter at all. Yeah, no, absolutely doesn't matter to me. But I don't know, man. So, and Campbell I thought was good. Like Edmonton, I thought kind of played okay at times in this game. I really like Draisaitl's game. They had 30 shots on net, so Jack made 28 saves. I thought Jack, our boy Wayne Campbell, party on, Wayne. I thought he was good again, like every night. It's not even like what can you say about Jack Campbell that we haven't said? Like this he's their number one goalie. They better find the fucking money to sign him, like $4 million, 5 times.
Hey, if they find a way out of the Ritchie contract somehow, I don't doubt that they'll find the money to sign Jack Campbell.
Yeah, but even that's not going to be enough, Chad. Like
no, but I mean, when push comes to shove, they'll find the money.
Like the thing that scares me a little bit is that if they let this go to free agency, like maybe they offer him Freddie Anderson's deal before Freddie left town, 5 times 5. That might be realistic, maybe, right?
Yep.
But, is there another team out there like Edmonton or I can't think off the top of my head. I don't know. Colorado.
Edmonton doesn't have the money. Colorado could sign him. Edmonton doesn't have the cap space to do it.
Another team that would be like, okay, we'll give you 6.5. We'll get you into Matt Murray territory. What if the Sens dump Murray and are like, Jackie boy, you want 7?
And what if the Leafs are like, hey, don't forget who gave you the start.
Oh, but that scares me a little bit.
Don't forget where you come from.
That scares me a little bit. If he goes to free agency, that someone else is going to be like, okay, they're offering you 5. They can't go much higher than that. We'll give you 7 times 7, Jackie.
I don't know.
We'll scares me. I hope not. I hope Jack knows, like, the fans love him. Like, as long as Dubas gets the cap space to offer Jack a fair deal, I think he stays. How could he not want to be here? He seems to love the team. The team is trending. We'll see what happens in the playoffs, but like a legitimate chance to win. Legit. And Jack would be a big part of that. We lose Jack, we're fucking back to square one, baby. Like, seriously, we ain't getting it done with fucking Mr. Groin masker over there, Peter Mrazek. It's just not going to happen.
Not going to happen with Mrazek.
So
that's true. Anyway. It's funny that they were signed as a 1A, 1B, and it's clearly a number 1 and a number 2.
I think Mrazek's played maybe 2 or 3 games.
Well, he pulled a groin. He got Omicron. He got Omicron in the groin. It happened, man.
With all the makeup games that are coming, that will be coming up here, Mrazek's going to be playing. So he better get that groin all healed up and ready to go.
I'm not worried about it. I think Mrazek's going to be just fine. So.
Okay, so do you want to talk about a couple individual players, starting with Nick Ritchie?
Okay.
You predicted on Saturday night or Sunday. I don't know. I'm losing track. I don't know what fucking day it is anymore, man.
I think we did it. We did it Sunday night.
I don't know what fucking day it is anymore. Cannot keep track.
Sunday night, we did a pod, and I predicted. I said by mid to late January.
You said within the next 2 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks. You should have said 2 days.
I didn't know it'd be that quick. But you had to admit, we talked about it a bit on the podcast. They were all saying the right things about Nick Ritchie, and he got plenty of opportunity. You cannot say that he didn't get his chance.
Oh, dude.
He got to play.
On. They had. Yeah.
But as soon as you saw that,
they tried him on every line.
As soon as you saw that forward group on Saturday night, fully healthy, and he was the odd man out, and how good they looked, any general manager would be like, all right, I got to get out of this contract.
Like, dude. Now. And the only reason he drew it back into the lineup for the Edmonton game was because Cache a little banged up.
Yeah, but $2.5 million to play 5.5 minutes on the fourth line. Anybody, Kyle Clifford could do that. You could have anybody doing that for league minimum.
I would prefer Kyle Clifford do it.
Exactly. You paid this guy to be a top 6 forward. He's not doing that.
No,
it's time to get rid of it. Like, it's stupid. It's stupid about, he plays physical and he made a nice pass and stuff. No, guy's making $5 million over 2 years. He has to produce. He has to produce.
He doesn't even play that physical. Like, I think Kyle Clifford is way more physical presence than fucking Nick Ritchie.
Ritchie's just a big body.
Okay, so Nick Ritchie was placed on waivers on Thursday afternoon by the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll see if he clears. I think that there is a chance that someone might take this guy. Like, maybe I'm fucking crazy, but I'll tell you what, man, I was reading some stuff this afternoon from online, and some of the Leafs fans not happy with this move. like sticking up for Nick, saying you're not going to win in the playoffs without Nick Ritchie. You're going to need Ritchie come playoff time. They're too soft. Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
are
because
you watching the fucking games? Are you?
I
watching
agree.
the
I
games?
agree. Nick Ritchie has, he has so many Stanley Cups under his belt.
Jesus Christ, man! Like it's not. To me,
I get it. I get that you want to play physical in the playoffs. I get that. And
he's not bringing it.
He's not bringing it, and you cannot pay someone in a salary cap world that much money to not produce in the regular season and just hope that they do something in the playoffs. You just can't do it.
No way.
Can't do it. So
it would
on waivers.
So if he does clear, he'll go to the taxi squad, hang out with Tony Danza for a bit. Tony, who's the boss, baby? So he'll get a little Danza time. That could help him, maybe.
Well,
so
Tony Manstelli.
We'll see about that. And also like it would free $1 million and some in cap space, which could help them, I don't know, possibly sign Josh Hosang, maybe. But I don't know, maybe they do something else. Maybe they're trying to clear space to like bring in a guy on the back end, like a trade for a defenseman. I don't see them doing a lot up front, honestly. Like with the group of 12 they have there, and then maybe you got a guy like Clifford that can come in, and even that Alex Steves kid. I liked his game, the couple games that he played over. I'd take that kid over Nick Ritchie right now. Put him on the fourth line with Spezza and Simmons. Alex Steves. Is that his name?
Yeah, that's his name.
So
yeah, you asked me, is that his name after you say it with so much emphasis?
Wow.
Alex Steves. Is that his name?
So anyway,
is
like
right?
there's options there. But so anyway, clearing it would be great if someone
Angela White. Is that her name?
I'm hoping someone claims Nick, because it will take the 250 or the 2.5 million off the books for next season, which is a bigger concern. That money's got to go regardless, whether he clears and he stays in the organization this season and maybe they get him in again, maybe they don't. That money has to come off the books for next season. It absolutely has to.
I know. I was reading comments. You were saying people talking about,
like
they were upset.
People upset that Nick's on waivers.
People were commenting. I was reading an article in the comments underneath. People were saying that they were like, why can't we just send them directly to the taxi squad? Like Leafs have such bad luck with the waiver wire. They're going to lose them on the waivers. Like they lost so-and-so and so-and-so. And I'm like, good.
Oh, this would be a blessing in disguise. If they could just dump them and like wash their hands of it, fuck, man. It'll be incredible. It'll be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it'd be one of those things where like Dubas would get in front of the camera and be like, we tried to get him to the taxi squad, but he just got picked up on waivers. But then behind closed doors, he's fucking popping champagne.
High fives. Yeah, high fives with Pridham. Fuck, man. We were able to get
the bullet on that one.
We were able to, but Dubas, like he'll do this. Like go back to last year with guys, who was the guy last year that they had playing high up the VC. Remember him? I don't even think he's in the fucking league anymore. Jimmy Vesey.
Vanilla.
Talk about a guy blowing a fucking opportunity. And Ritchie blew a huge opportunity playing with Matthews and Marner, and he couldn't hang. Like, just absolutely, he'll fucking kick himself forever for that one. Like, seriously. But anyway, Dubas seems to be like, hey, if it's not working, like the VC thing didn't work, what'd they do? Waivers. You're fucking out of here. Like signings that haven't panned out. Dubas doesn't spend a lot of time. Like it was around this time last year where they put VC on waivers, and he got like, I like the,
you know what Dubas does though, and he sticks to his word, is he guarantees them a chance. Like there are GMs who sign guys like Jimmy VC and Nick Ritchie, and then 3 games in, they're just like press box. He gave both of them a chance.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, sign here, and I promise you have a chance. And if you blow it, that's your fault. And they both blew it. VC blew it, and Nick Ritchie blew it. I said this 10 minutes ago. You cannot tell me Nick Ritchie did not have a chance to play on this team.
Dude, he got a chance to start the season with Matthews and Marner. Come on.
He can be pissed that he's on waivers right now, and there can be fans who are pissed that he's on waivers. There can be fans pissed at Dubas for putting him on waivers, but the fact of the matter is, it's Nick Ritchie's fault that he's on waivers right now.
Oh, dude, he hasn't brought anything. So I don't know why these fans are so upset. Like he hasn't brought anything.
They're thinking about the grit grind in the playoffs and stuff. But we are so far away from there, and we need Imagine we could pull this $2.5 million and do some trade where they get like another top 4 defenseman. How stoked would the fans be then?
That would be great. That would be incredible. That would be incredible if they could sure up that top 4 like defense
if you could push Justin Hall down or trade Justin Hall.
No, I would keep Hall in the fold at least for the just as a depth piece, like Hall.
But if you could push him out of the top 4, so you have Brody, Riley, Muzzin, and whoever, that'd be great.
And then your bottom guys become like figure out who's going to play every night. Hall, Sandin, Liljegren, and Dermott. I like that as depth. And then so we'll see what Dubas has got planned here. But so we'll see, Ritchie. So we'll know tomorrow. By the time we do a podcast on the weekend, he will either still be in the organization or possibly. I don't know. And he pick a place. Maybe Vancouver. Maybe Bursty Boods comes to the rescue.
Let's make a prediction right now. Clear or claim?
I want to say claimed so bad, but
okay. Why don't you say clear? I'll say claim.
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll probably clear, but I don't know, man. Like who? Okay, let's go even more in depth on that. What team could you see fucking claiming him? What team out there is just screaming for help on the left side? A guy like Nick Ritchie. Like who's out there? Who's out there thinking, man, this guy can really come in and help us? Like,
I would have to look at. I have to get the standings up. I have to look at like a wild card team or a team close to the wild card that that isn't. That hasn't made the playoffs in a while. That's kind of like could really use a boost of money.
Philly,
maybe Philly.
I don't know. Maybe
like it would probably be more in the Western Conference, I would assume. Let me just take a look here. Like maybe Vancouver because they're on the bubble. Maybe Dallas. They're on the bubble for a wild card spot. Like they're still a ways out. They're probably 6 to 8 points out, but
yeah.
Maybe the Kraken.
Maybe
they don't have any chance at the playoffs, but maybe the Kraken.
Yeah, maybe that's really going to get people in the seats, bringing in Big Nick out in Seattle there.
Wouldn't it be awesome if the Edmonton Oilers grabbed him?
I would. I was thinking that, but I can't see it.
Winnipeg.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens with Nick. But so just a couple quick things before we go then. I don't see how we can. We talked about Brody, talked about Mikheyev on the last podcast again tonight. Like, dude, these guys Brody's killing it. Love TJ Brody, and Mikheyev just looks fucking incredible. I'm so impressed with Mikheyev. Like, I don't expect him to score every night, but dude, he had like how many shots has he had on net in the last 2 games? Like
he's scoring every other shot.
It's crazy. It is honestly crazy. The shots on goal for this guy. He just looks like, I don't know what's going on. Well, I know what's going on. Cobra, Eddie Belfour, Cobra. You can probably, that's a direct result of his success. New nickname, Eddie Belt, some time in the shower with Belfour. Now look at him.
Well, story is that Eddie actually said rattlesnake, but the team just went with Cobra.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't understand why rattlesnake, but he was like, it's a rattlesnake.
Okay. So quickly, William Nylander had 2 assists last night. He had a goal taken away. It was 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 assists last night, 2 goals in the first game back against Ottawa. This fucking guy, man, now leads the team in points. He's got 35 points. He's jumped ahead of Tavares and Matthews. Riley is up there too, but because he's just a fucking assist machine, Morgan Riley. But William Nylander, it leads the fucking Leafs in points. How about that? Like, where's this guy going? 15 goals, 20 assists. He's only 5 goals behind fucking Matthews for the league in for the lead in team goals. Like, this guy, dude.
And let's not forget who was the best player in the playoffs last year.
Willie Stiles, without a fucking doubt. Most consistent.
Him and Jack Campbell have just continued on. have just continued on. They both were the best in the Montreal series. They both were the best ending last season, and they've both been dynamite this season. So.
Willie has been incredible. We'll save this for the main.
Thank God we got Willie and not his brother.
Oh, dude, he's bounced around. Pittsburgh just picked him up. Pittsburgh's on a fucking heater too. They've won like 10 games in a row. Pittsburgh is fucking killing it.
So Pittsburgh picks up Alex Nylander from the Blackhawks. You should have read the comments from the Blackhawks fans. They're just like, good. The guy's trash. Yada yada. He's a shadow of his brother and all this stuff.
Well, that's true though, right?
I know, but it must be tough to live in your brother's shadow like that.
Yeah.
Like your brother's killing it.
His brother's becoming one of the best players in the league, and this guy's bouncing around.
And they were drafted at the same spot. Like he was 8th, the next year by Buffalo?
I think so, yeah.
Nylander went 8th.
But anyway, just so...
And we can also put that whole draft to rest. Don Cherry,
God,
who wanted the Leafs to take Nick Ritchie that year.
Oh, my God. And man.
He said that I'm pretty sure Don Cherry said this will come back to haunt the Leafs by taking William Nylander instead of Nick Ritchie.
The old school. That's the old school.
Right? I know, but could he have been more wrong? Like, well, no, he couldn't have been more wrong.
And so just... Look, we'll get more into Nylander on the weekend because I want to talk a little bit more in depth about him and Mitch Marner. Don't answer this, but has he surpassed Mitch on the depth chart here? Has Mitch jumped over Mitch as most important? Well, you can
tune into the next podcast to find out.
We're going to get into a little Mitch Marner, William Nylander comparison on the next podcast on the weekend. But Willie, man, quickly though, there was been this conversation about Sheldon Keefe and Willie and being pushed and Keefe just pushing him and trying to motivate him and just make him more consistent and better every day. So I don't know how much of this has to do with Sheldon Keefe. I say probably maybe a lot because he looks like a different player under Keefe than he did under Babcock. Is that just because he's getting older? He's maturing? I don't know. But look at what this guy's done since Keefe has been the fucking head coach. It's crazy. I don't know, man. Nylander. What can you say about fucking Nylander? I don't know if you want to add anything about Willie, but
no, we'll get into it more in depth on the weekend when we start talking about both of them. But Nylander's been amazing this year. I've defended Nylander since we started this podcast. Our very first episode was Willie, won't he sign with the Toronto Maple Leafs? And I remember you were very livid at William Nylander, kind of why don't you just take the contract? You're not, you're nobody, you haven't done anything. And I was like, this guy's super talented, and I don't think he gets enough credit. And he's kind of showing it. Now it's one of the best contracts in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Anyway, okay. We'll get into more of that.
Yeah, we'll get into big conversation about Nylander on the weekend podcast. You got anything else before we go?
Check out my screen.
Oh, I love that. Love that mustache. Oh, dude, Willie Styles is also in a new Sonnet commercial. Did you see that?
No. Well, didn't he do them before with Johnny Gaudreau and Zach Hyman?
He did. Right? Yes, he did. Johnny Gaudreau. Yeah, I think so. Hyman.
Wasn't Hyman. No, it wasn't Hyman. It was Freddie Goat. Freddie Goat.
Yeah, Freddie the Goat. Shout out. Don't know where he is nowadays. Is he in the league? Arizona?
I believe he's playing chess in the Queen's Gambit over in.
No, I think he signed somewhere. I think he plays for Arizona. We'll find out next week because they're heading out there. So we'll see what's up. But anyway, in the Sonnet commercial, he's by himself, Nylander solo in this one. He looks like it must have been filmed before the season starts because he's got the mustache. He's got a full mustache in the commercial. It's wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful. But anyway, okay.
Can't wait.
Before we go, do you got anything? I got a little quick.
Yep. Freddie Gauthier plays for the New Jersey Devils.
Oh, New Jersey. Well, we'll see.
He's played 8 games this year.
Oh, fuck. Was he injured or?
No, he's just played 8 games.
I missed the GOAT a little bit, but okay. So look, they were talking about this on Overdrive a little bit earlier in the week. This has been a thing. I think she was the Bachelorette star or whatever.
Is this the fart in the jar thing?
Yeah, the fart in the jar thing. Is this okay? Is this fucking nuts or what? I think Stephanie Matto, I think is her name. I don't know if it's Bachelorette or not. I don't know. I think that's what it is, but
no, it wasn't the Bachelorette.
Okay.
It was one of those. It was one of the a bride or I forget what it's called, but it's one of those reality shows.
Okay, so she anyone who hasn't heard the story, the whole deal is this lady made, like, I don't know if it's an OnlyFans or whatever website. I don't know how she's selling it, but she bunch of jars, and she would fart and like cup her farts in these jars and sell them to just sick, demented motherfuckers out there that are buying these.
That's basically what it is.
These bottled up farts. But
this is not just her. This is a fetish. I saw them talking about her, and then they went to like porn stars and all these B-list celebrities are making all this money. The one girl, she was showing her routine. She like every day she takes this like pill, and it gives her super gas. Like it makes her fart a lot so that she could get as many jars as she can. It's this fetish that men, these, like you say, these sick motherfuckers.
Well, dude,
they open the jar and shove it in their face.
They were talking on Overdrive about like, what is she must just fire up like a hard charcuterie board and then just line up the jars and fucking go for it.
Yeah, but, no, they actually take like medicine.
Oh, that's crazy. But listen to this then. So anyway, it's crazy. Apparently she doesn't do it anymore, or she's not doing it anymore. But also apparently she earned over $200,000 off of this. $200K, man. Like, think about that.
My God.
So I don't know what she was selling each jar for, but that's like fucking crazy. Over
Could you imagine? So like if she's outside and she just like, oh, I have to fart, and she lets one go, she's like, there goes $200.
Well, dude, listen.
There goes $200.
See, there is a story now. I don't know if you saw this, but
have you ever taken a woman's fart in your face from a jar?
No, it doesn't. That doesn't do it for me personally.
No, it doesn't do it for me.
That doesn't do it. I'm into some wild shit, but that is not personally.
Yeah, you're into wild shit, but like normal wild shit.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, for the most. I don't know. You wouldn't want to. I don't know if you'd want to be taking a look at my search history. I'll tell you that. But
you're not searching like farts.
I am not. No, I'm not. But so anyways, listen to this. So she stopped doing it. She's not doing it anymore. But she ended up in hospital due to severe gas. Did you see this story? So like
probably because she was inducing her farts with a bunch of like stuff.
She had to go to the hospital because of severe gas. It was that big a problem. And just a wild story. Like I know there's all kinds of weird fetishes out there and stuff, but hey, good for her, man. If there's people willing to pay, and she made like $200,000 off of doing that.
Right.
Oh my God.
My last job, I worked with two women, and one of their friends was a dominatrix.
Oh yeah.
And they would tell me the stories about that she would tell them about, like, it's insane. It's like crazy. She would say that guys would pay her. She would meet them at like a hotel or something.
Yeah.
And they just want to be taken advantage of. And they want to be tied up. They want to be told that they're bad. They want to be farted in their face. They want to be peed on. They want
yeah.
I'm like, what? Yeah. And they pay. She's like, these are big Bay Street money making men.
Yeah.
Like top CEOs in the country.
Like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction. Bring out the Gimp.
But these guys pay like top dollar to have someone fart.
There's your podcast title right there. Bring out the Gimp.
They pay like top dollar to have someone fart in their face or pee on them and stuff. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
No, me neither. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. It's crazy.
And then there's regular dudes who can't afford that, so they buy a fart in a jar.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, so good luck to her. I don't know what is going to go there, but they were saying on Overdrive too, like, I bet you if some dudes found out when she was going to be ending it, they ordered like a year supply of like fucking jars. So they just had them all lined up. And they also said, stay tuned maybe on the weekend for a very special guest. We just keep in mind now, like can't confirm or deny this for sure, but possibly we might be talking to on the weekend Al's brother's brother. Now keep that on the down low, okay? But we might have an inside scoop on Al's brother's brother.
So Al? Like
no, the other brother.
Oh, the other brother.
The other brother. Al's
so not
brother's brother.
Not Al's brother Al. Al's brother, his other brother.
His other brother. Al's brother's brother. So stay tuned for that.
Because Al's brother's brother would be Al.
Yeah, well, we'll figure all that out. So
okay.
stay tuned on the weekend for that. But so just to end the fart cupping thing, they were saying this was fun. I don't know if you saw this. This was absolutely hilarious.
I usually listen the next day on all the podcasts.
Dude, they were almost falling off the fucking chairs. Al's brother had COVID, so he's at home in Niagara Falls. He's kind of doing shows from the basement, whatever. They're all doing shows from home, but they're trying to get Al's brother to do a hit from the hot tub. Are you aware of the hot tub thing? He's got a hot tub in the basement.
I've heard all about the hot tub.
They're trying to get him
one today.
No, but they're trying to get him to do. They're hoping
a
for
TV
tomorrow.
hit.
They're trying to get him to do a hit on Overdrive from the hot tub. Okay, and when he wasn't on the show, they were saying, like, I don't know if O-Dog or Hayes said it. Someone said, like, dude, you imagine if we do the hit from the hot tub and Al's brother's in the hot tub and he's got a shelf behind him and there's a bunch of these empty jars. Because he because he wasn't
cold. That's cold.
He wasn't part of like when they were talking about it. He wasn't there, so he didn't know about it. So they were like, just like, you imagine he comes on in the hot tub and there's all these empty jars behind him. Oh, all right. Let's go out on that.
If we're laughing this hard, they must have been laughing.
Oh, they were losing it, man.
Who said that?
It was Hayes or O-Dog. I can't remember. But
that's cool. Whoever thought of that is cool.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
All right. For the Tip and Maple Leafs podcast, don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip and Maple Leafs podcast, on Twitter at the Tip and Podcast, email us at the Tip and Podcast @gmail.com. Check out our YouTube page at the Tip and Maple Leafs podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe. Check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/the Tip and Maple Leafs podcast, patreon.com/the Tip and Podcast. If you like what you hear, don't forget to donate. And until this weekend, we will.
After the Colorado game, we'll see you on the weekend. Catch you later.